Thank you so much for staying with us and welcome back to the program. INEC last week registered new political parties, and indeed 5. We now have 5 more political parties, taking the number of registered political parties to 45. One of Nigeria's newly registered parties, Advanced People's Democratic Alliance (APDA), said it is ready to rewrite the current political narrative and are poised to cause a major upset in Nigeria's 2019 general elections. Take a look at those new parties there on your screen. Now let's take a look at what INEC is doing. As they say, they're preparing for the 2019 general elections, and they're continuing with the voter registration, the continuing voter registration exercise across the country. They did a review of the exercise. We'll be talking about the new parties. 90, they say, applied, 5 were successful. What happened to the 85 other parties? And also, have you registered? If you're not, you need to take your seat and listen to this conversation. Joining me is INEC's National Commissioner for Voter Education and Publicity, Prince Solomon Shoyabi, joins us now. Many thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
First and foremost, you registered 5 out of 90 that applied. Why didn't you register all of them?
Well, 2 withdrew somewhere along the line. 5 met all the requirements for registration. The remaining 83 are in various stages of verification. For us to register political parties, we have guidelines, we have rules, we have procedures, and of course, we have a lot of verifications to do, including addresses, signatories, membership, verification of membership, identity. It's a whole lot of process. Do you do that with the help of the intelligence agencies? There's nothing we don't really take. We don't use security apparatus. So you do that all in all of you? We do it administratively. And that, I mean, a lot of people say if you don't involve the security agencies, that's why some fraudulent people come up and they say they have political parties, because proper background checks are not being done. Let me tell you one thing. The commission was formed by law. We operate by law. Everything we've done is according to law. There's nowhere in the law for verification that says we have to really look at their criminal or membership. Don't forget, we are talking about a party now. We are not dealing with individuals. But the individuals who form parties, I agree with you. But the verification as prescribed by the law does not really entail us to go into a lot of criminal. It brings the question, how thorough is your verification process? Very, very thorough. Lasting 13 to 14 months at times. So what are the process, the criteria? I understand that some political parties will have to, or political parties, associations willing to be political parties must pay 1 million naira. Is that true? Oh, well, for you to be registered, you must pay a fee of 1 million. In fact, there are some within the law that are not even qualified to pay the 1 million. So you may not pay 1 million is not really compulsory. It's not statutory. It's not. It's statutory for you. It's a condition you must meet for registration. But somewhere along the line, even if you don't meet some of the verification, especially when we check about your location, about your spread, and you don't meet it, you are not even qualified to pay the 1 million. Because some of the guidelines include, if I'm wrong, please correct me, that you must have an office in Abuja, the federal capital. Yes. You must have. It's a major one. It's a major one. Yes. And also you must have offices in how many states of the federation? Well, about 24 of them spread from all. In fact, you are supposed to have offices in all the federations. Is that not too, I beg to use this language, too expensive and too inconsiderate of the law of your process of allowing people to form political parties? 1 million naira at this age and time, it looks like a tall order for some people who are willing to change the narrative of the political system in Nigeria. I will repeat, this is not really targeted at a particular person. They are not individual thing. It's a corporate. Their registration is sort of corporate, and it's meant. I mean, it's a political party we're talking about. We're not talking about individuals.
No, but Mr. Shady,
this law,
if people...
wait. This law had been there since 1999, and I don't believe that when we ask an association who is trying to become a political party to pay a registration fee of 1 million naira, we are not asking too much. That
really?
I must.
1 million naira at this age and time.
Number one,
you realize how difficult to come by that kind of money.
Membership into most of these parties too is not free. Number one, the 1 million does not belong to the commission. Let us now look at the other side. But you're paying it to government, isn't it? Let us look at the other side. Look at this scenario. Throw it free. We're talking about 90 for registration now. Now make sure it's cheap, it's free. Then probably you could be talking about 3,000 associations coming in and then preventing the commission from performing any other function. Because you have to verify, that's the law. If you are serious of becoming an association, a corporate association, trying to become a political party, must undergo a form of registration one way or the other. And I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong. I believe personally there's nothing wrong with the registration fee for political parties.
Are you aware that some people, part of some of the political parties you're registering, some of them are members or the founders of some of these parties, some of them are current members of other political parties, some of the trustees and the financiers of some of these parties are current members of some other political parties. Is that allowed by law?
That is one weakness of the whole thing. You're talking about dual membership of political parties.
Absolutely.
If you remember very vividly, we don't really meddle into internal party affairs. It is not outside our purview.
Okay, but if someone comes to
I agree with you. It's something which does not really, which we don't have, our hands are tied on such issues. You will say that it's even possible for somebody to become a member of three political. You've seen situation before. Let's look at that scenario where somebody is within one party, sitting comfortably in representing the people on the platform of one party, and once there's a by-election, he locks the constituency seat, goes to compete on another party, loses that particular election, comes back to come and join, to come and reclaim his seat. That is the law. The law is, I've told you, we only operate within the law. It could be faulty, it could not be tidy, but that is the law, and that is what we operate with. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of movement within lateral movement across parties.
Okay, let's look at 2019. What's the deadline of approving such political associations?
6 months to the
general elections.
Yes.
How prepared is INEC for 2019?
I believe, because sometimes in February and March, we have what we call a strategic plan with timelines, with expectations, with goals, and I want to assure you we are still very much abreast of everything. We are still in line. We are up to date with our planning, and we are planning. We have the opportunity of planning early because we are so focused. Don't forget that this particular commission has spent just about 18 months. Out of the 18 months, we've spent virtually 16 of the months in conducting elections. But that notwithstanding, I want to assure you that we are well focused and well prepared for 2019 elections.
The template you used in 2011 was the same template you used in 2015 in the times of the timetable that was used. The presidential election, the federal elections were held first before the state elections were held. Are you still going to maintain that same template for 2019?
That's just configuration, but I want to assure you the elections generally just know the dates for election. Most likely, we don't really lose a winning horse. We may, but as of now, there's no law that says we cannot change it.
Does it work?
I mean, Nigerians are.
Because you were part of the team that organized the 2015 election.
2011 election. I wasn't there in 2015.
Okay, yeah, 2011 election. Where people said, "Oh no, you give a lot of people the opportunity to manipulate the election of the first 1 week affected the second week and all that, and the reverse should be the case."
There is no
some of those complaints.
There is no election which you do where we not have a rub-off on the other one. The two are intertwined. They are related.
Because when you do a federal election, usually it does.
Even if you do a state election, don't forget that it's nothing like a federal registrant. All of them are registered in a polling booth, which is at the state level.
How many people have been registered so far in your continuous voter registration exercise?
In 5 weeks, because we had a midterm review sometimes last week in Kaduna, in 5 weeks we have registered about 671,000, 670,000 specifically, 989. But it's close to 671,000, which is highly encouraging considering the fact that these are continuous voter registration, which we have done in 5 weeks, in 774 local government areas. If it had been, you can extrapolate what the expectation would be if we had really gone down to a lower level. But this is something which we have done in 774 local government areas of the country. It is highly encouraging, and I'm telling you, we rate it as a very great success.
If you look at some of the complaints of some voters who have turned out and said, look, INEC is highly insensitive to the plight of voters with the way and manner they've gone about arranging the exercise. Local government, some say the centers are too far from where they are. Are you reconsidering relocating or readjusting your strategy?
Patience. Patience, that's the gospel we've been preaching to Nigerians. Patience. This is just 5 weeks old, and this is the first time we are having the real continuous voters registration in the true sense of the word. Number one, we are going to have this exercise until we sign up the register next year. There is no time limit for it. We reviewed last week in Kaduna, and we saw all the associated problems, and don't forget that we have great budgetary constraints. There is no way we are insensitive to the...
I thought you were a first-line charge. INEC is a first-line charge in revenue disbursement.
I know. But I'm telling you about the constraints.
We'll talk more about that, your budget and all other issues, but we'll take a breather. But when we come back, Mr. Solomon Shoyabi is still with us. He'll be talking to us about 2019, some very important issues you should know. Join us again.